happy May! I have so many reading plans this year, but the month of May in particular is so close to my heart because this reading list is something that I've been dreaming to have since last year, for such a long time. Every month of May, I always have such a grand time watching a lot of Asian Readathon vlogs because that's what happens in May, Asian Readathons. I'm going to put a link down below for Cindy's channel. Cindy is always the one who comes up with amazing reading prompts for the Asian Readathon celebration. What I picked was the first and most basic of them all.
Number one is pretty much the default challenge every year. Super easy, basically a freebie to you, and it is to read a book written by an Asian author. That's it. It could be any Asian author. We are just begging for a crumb of diversity in your reading list here. So if you can spare that, you're good to go.
You have already seen the title of this reading vlog. It's going to be exclusively devoted to this book because I thought I'm going to kick it off and start the month strong by no other than a Filipino short story collection book. This is Song of the Mango and Other New Myths by Vida Cruz-Borja. I will never move on. I will never shut up about how gorgeous this book is. A lot of the Filipino books I own are pocket size, very thin, which of course is not an issue because definitely it's always quality over quantity for us. It's not the number of pages. I think I've said that in one of my reading vlogs during my early years, but I don't know, there's just something that really makes my heart so warm when we have regular trade paperback sizes and thick books. Can we have more of these? Filipino publishing houses, Filipino authors, can we have more of these? Anyway, so I thought I'd also briefly talk about the 3 other books that I'm going to be doing a reading vlog for the Asian Readathon celebration because they're also really wonderful. 100 Flowers by Gail Chokiyama. This is one of the books on my TBR pile that has been there for an insanely long amount of time. I'm so embarrassed, but this is it. Now is the time that I'll finally get to this book. This is written by, from the name, okay? I will look it up, but the name sounds Japanese, but the story is set in China, 1957. I'm reading a well-loved book. This is so well known, right? This is The God of Small Things by Arundhati Roy. And I'm beyond thrilled because, as you can see, this is the winner of the 1997 Booker Prize. And the final book that I'm going to be reading is The Stationery Shop by Marjan Kamali. This is set in Iran. So it's rather obvious that these books are historical fiction, and historical fiction is one of my top tier favorite genres. That's why I love Asian literature, because a lot of Asian literature is about historical fiction. This is probably me being stereotypical again, but I love it so much that Asian literature books always have flowers on their book cover designs. So pretty, gorgeous, stunning. I'm not even gonna lie, if I ever get to publish a book someday, traditionally published, I would love to have a flower on the book cover design too. See, the flower. We love flowers. I think it's a testament to how Asian literature is so attuned and so intertwined with the love of nature. I'm also going to put a link down below for Pam's channel, Pam's Shenanigans. That's where I first heard of this book, so she really talks wonderfully about this book on that review. Go ahead and check it out. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Vida Cruz-Borja, Song of the Mango and Other New Myths. It's so fitting and so perfect that this is going to be my first short story collection book that I'm gonna be reading for 2023. I have an exceptional fondness for short story collection books. I can't explain why, but I just always gravitate towards short story collection books. I love them. I love them. They make me so happy. I have probably overused this metaphor already, but short story collection books is like a feast of great food, like a box of chocolates. Like, you have an assortment of bite-sized goodness. Who doesn't want that? Is this storytelling gluttony? Yes, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. I'm not even gonna defend myself. I'm a sucker. I'm always starving, perennially craving for good stories. Happy Asian Readathon month. I will talk to you later. I'm this far along in the book. I think I'm already approaching the halfway mark of this book, and I've read 7 pieces so far in the collection. I say pieces because, well, they are short stories for sure. It just so happens, very interestingly, they are presented in different formats. I think that's perhaps my favorite thing so far about this short story collection. The dazzling diversity of the formats that are being utilized to give you the story, and the many themes and messages and intentions. Wow. I think of the 7 that I've read so far, I think 2 or 3 of those are like almost like novellas. They're very long, so it features a very grandiose plot, which I don't typically see in short stories. So very interesting. And then I think 2 of the pieces so far are like in the newspaper article format. They're still fictional short stories, but they're told in a way that they're like newspaper columns. My favorites so far, I think I like 4 so far. To Megan with Half My Heart. First play for and by Tikbalang triggers uproar on opening night. Chosen Mother and Voices in the Air. Very rich with sociocultural commentary, and it tackles so many things. Anyway, I've been really slow, to be completely honest, because this past week I've been so busy, so distracted, so preoccupied watching and binging so many shows. Oh my goodness. I think that's one of the downsides of short story collections, because since you finish the pieces very quickly, there's a lot of in-between time where you get so tempted to watch something. So far, I finished To Your Eternity on Netflix. I've watched Call It Love on Disney Plus. And then I also watch 8 Cents. Lots of good stuff. I'll continue on. Talk to you later. Perhaps she could write a book. There were manuals for pregnancy and manuals for chosen ones, but no manuals for being pregnant with the chosen ones to her knowledge. I free forms from ice because ice will not last forever, especially in tropical Philippines. In that sense, ice is similar to memory. Memories are already changed once examined. Ice will melt and memory fade, and I move on to the next sculpture, the next experience. So, I finally finished Song of the Mango and Other New Myths, and oh my goodness, what a very satisfying experience. See, here's one massive takeaway that I got from reading this book. Short story collections really has a way of evoking self-reflection and self-revelation. Going back to my buffet analogy that I use, the opening of this vlog, when you are in a table of multitudes, you learn so much about what works for you, perhaps what doesn't, and most importantly, what you love best in stories. I know a lot of readers are not really fond of short story collection books because it gets really difficult to gather or compile your feelings and thoughts when you have mixed feelings and thoughts about the stories, right? And here's the thing. You're definitely not gonna like everything equally in a short story collection book. That's for sure. And that's absolutely fine. That's okay. What matters is that you will come away from a short story collection book feeling that you've found a lot of stories that are impressive and insightful. Perhaps not all of them, but a lot. And there's a lot in this book. We're always bound to have favorites in a collection, and that's inevitable and delightful. And you know what? I do believe that if you struggle picking, let's say, your top 5 favorites in a short story collection, that's already a very strong, excellent sign that you've had a wonderful and meaningful time with it. So, in Song of the Mango and Other New Myths, I'm gonna talk to you about my top 7 favorites. And since I was talking about how it evoked a lot of self-reflection and self-revelation, I'm gonna briefly talk to you about what I learned about myself as a reader, or what I like as a reader, based on my picks. Number 7 on my list is actually the last story in the book. It's Odd and Ugly. And number 6 is the second story in the collection, called To Megan with Half My Heart. I love these 2 pieces because this pieces further solidified how much of a sucker I am for second person POV storytelling. And Vida Cruz-Borja executed that so well. My goodness. Number 5 on the list, moving on, is Child of Two Worlds. And number 4 is Call of the Rhine Folk. I picked these pieces because I'm discovering how much I love complex love stories that jive so well in the complicated world building that they're matched with. And number 3 on my list is Have Your Hugot, harvested at this Diwata owned cafe. That ranks so highly because I'm really coming to terms with how sociocultural commentary, even more devastatingly if they really correspond to real life events, they really have a way of tugging at my heart. Out of all the pieces, that one is the one that really got me teary-eyed. I wish I could talk to you about it, but you should read it. My second favorite in the collection, number 2, is How the Jungle Got Its Spirit Guardian. That piece really established in my brain that I really, really love. I'm crazy about stories where characters break out of their stereotypes. This one is a love story where the lovers have traits or talents that are beyond what society expects of them. I'm obsessed. And my number one pick, my top favorite in this collection, gave me crystal clear clarity of how predictable my preferences are. Like, literally, this trope or this element in a story would 200% of the time always have me from head to toe. Okay? It's Ink, a love story, which features writers. Yeah, I'm predictable and basic like I'm so predictable and basic. I'm a walking, breathing cliche, and I won't apologize for it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Vida Cruz-Borja, for gifting us with such a phenomenal book. Thank you. Thank you for your creativity, your vision, your hard work in bringing this to life. Highly recommend. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you're doing well. See you on my next reading vlog.